Hi, welcome to Unscripted on AOL. I'm Derek Luke, and I'm here to talk with Tim Robbins about this new film we're in.
Yeah.
Called Catch a Fire.
Yes.
And we're going to ask each other questions and include some of your own questions. And I'll start. In the movie, you play a character called Patrick Chamuso, who's a real person. And how did you prepare for the role?
Well, first thing I did was I was required to lose a great amount of weight and no Krispy Kremes.
No Krispy Kremes?
No Krispy Kremes.
The sacrifices we make for filmmaking, it's just outrageous. But go ahead.
So I had to lose at least about 22 pounds.
Did you have to do that because you had to get buck naked? Come on, be honest.
Dude, I had to, man. I couldn't.
You didn't want to show some cellulite.
Dude, I had no but cellulite.
And then Patrick was around.
Yeah.
The real person you were playing.
My job was kind of interesting because it was to go to South Africa and find out how the difference between the American working man and the South African family working man. And it wasn't much different. You know, he loved his family. He wanted to provide. You know, his wife liked nice things. You know, she liked to shop. You know, no offense. And, you know.
And he was doing really well. And he was the foreman at a power plant, making a good living. And then there's an explosion at the power plant. This is a true story. And he's rounded up by me and questioned because I believe that you had something to do with this bombing.
Right.
And in fact, he's innocent, but because of what I do, and I involve your family, and I have no bottom line, it seems, and I wind up turning you into what I feared you were.
Yeah.
After supper, you dropped the boys off at the school in Ermelo. Then you took off somewhere. In the morning, you were late picking them up. That's what they said. We checked the mileage on the vehicle. That tells us you drove to the plant. You fixed the mines.
No.
Then where were you that night, Patrick? When you dropped the boys off, where did you go?
You're a very playful person, very light person. How was it for you to transform yourself as an actor into, you know, this guy? I got to tell you, it was really difficult for me because I had to get beyond my own beliefs, you know, and I had to just try, you know, find out who these guys were as human beings. They were, you know, family men. They loved their daughters as much as Patrick loved his daughters. He was trying to protect his country, and his job was to find these guys and by any means necessary find whatever information they had. I was invited to some of their barbecues and stuff, and well, you remember, you know, me giving you, I'm talking to Andy, and I give you a look like, what? And at one point, you remember when you lost? Oh my God!
You kind of lost it at one point. You're like, you know, Derek's like very polite, very sweet man. And at one point, he just like, we're talking in this room, and Henty's doing some rationalization for some behavior, and finally Derek just says, I'm sorry, but I can't listen to this.
God.
Remember that?
Yeah, I do remember. I do. I was trying to understand because it was like, you're phenomenal. And the reason why you're phenomenal is that you convinced me as a person that you believed in what you believed in the process of going into your character. And it was frustrating because I was like, no, this can't be, no. That's just, this guy got me, man. And now, when I was on the set, I was really trying to figure out, like, how do I don't know whether who's right or wrong, you know? And it really brought me into another mental state, so I applaud you for that.
I have a question for you. How long did it take you to adjust, or did you ever adjust, being an American over there, and the nature of what you found that was there in Johannesburg, racism that's still there? How was it difficult for you to?
When I first went to Africa, I was searching for, I felt like it was Roots, Alex Haley. I was searching. I'm like, hey, forget the movie. I'm looking for something. Yeah, hey, I'm looking for, my roots. And when I got there, I says, my God, I says, this could have been my ancient language, And I was looking like one day or somehow somebody left this continent, and this is how, I filtered into the U.S. So I was like looking for gold, internal gold. And, that's how I got adjusted, because I was trying to find myself.
Well, you didn't only have to play a character, you had to discover a continent. You had to discover because there's a huge difference between being African and African American. And they'll be the first to tell you that too.
Oh yeah.
But you had to not only learn your lines and do your scenes and play the emotions, but you also had to sing the songs, dance.
Oh yeah.
In groups of people. These first of all, in the wedding. And you can't look like a fish out of water there. You got to be an African there.
Yeah, that's true.
And that was really impressive.
Okay, this is for you. Tim, what was your most difficult scene in the film?
Like it was difficult torturing you. I got to tell you,
Ouch.
It was, because you gotta when you're playing the character, you gotta believe it. You can't feel how I would feel about it. So you gotta go into the day and knowing that's what you're gonna do, and 12 hours later you're full of this kind of crap. You've all day long you've been accepting this kind of horrible stuff.
Okay.
What did you enjoy most about working with our director, Phillip Noyce?
I haven't been doing this on screen too long. It's been about 5 years only. And the greatest point about working with Phillip is, I felt like a kid, and I felt safe. And because Phillip was always reconstruction, tearing things apart, and I never felt unstable. And just being around you guys, you two, I felt like it was a learning process. And I call him a gentle giant, and he knows how to pull things out of you. And I really admire that. All right. How do you think people like Nic Vos are dealing with the end of apartheid?
Some are dealing with it okay. Some are not. South Africa's a miracle. The fact that there's not more violence, the fact that they ended a war that was like a 30-year kind of struggle, and that Mandela offered an amnesty from both sides that had done things to the other.
That's right, he did it.
And that's kind of, in practice, everything you would hope these leaders that are of our various countries, when they invoke the name of God or Jesus, you'd hope they'd read that one. Forgive your enemy, turn the other cheek. All these very difficult things that Mandela was able to come in and do. And at the same time, he made it very clear, we're not taking white people's land away. We're not going to rearrange the economy. And because he respected white Afrikaners as Africans. I think there's everyone I met over 25 had a certain shred of that inherent racism still in them.
Yeah.
Everyone under 25 had been educated in schools with black people.
Yeah.
So there's a
huge gap.
Huge gap.
Wow.
And when we were out at that club, you notice that when you see on the dance floor and you see blacks and whites dancing together, that's a miracle there, because people would tell me that that was illegal to 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And they view that as the brilliance of that.
Like the new generation coming.
Yeah. It's really exciting and scary too.
Yeah. All right. Thank you to AOL, Black Voices, and Moviefone.
And thanks for watching and sending in your questions. Go see Catch a Fire, Derek Luke,
Tim Robbins,
Phillip Noyce film, Bonnie Henna. And I think you're going to like this one.
Yeah.
When is it open, Derek?
October 27th. Unjani. Yeah.
Amandla.
Away too.
Oh, you want me to actually say my name? You don't think that was funny?
I did, but just in case.
You want a real one? Okay. Hi.
All right. So.
What is it?
I'll go
Hi, I'm Tim Robbins. Welcome to.
on there.
Murmur.